The tech discourse lately has been absolutely exhausting. Apple says large language models can't think like humans. Shocking. ChatGPT loses to a 1979 Atari chess game. Scandalous. The internet loses its collective mind over AI failures. Well, here's the reality check we all desperately need. Large language models were never designed to be human-like thinkers, and that's perfectly fine. When ChatGPT gets destroyed by an Atari 2600 at chess, we're essentially criticizing a language model for not being a chess engine. That is like being disappointed your calculator can't paint the Mona Lisa or getting upset that Photoshop can't file your taxes. I mean, sure, maybe an LLM could learn to play chess well enough to beat most humans, but that's not what any of these systems were designed to do. Large language models are pattern matching systems trained on vast amounts of text, and they're absolutely phenomenal at what they were actually designed to do. They excel at understanding nuance in human language, generating clear and contextually appropriate responses, synthesizing information from massive knowledge bases, helping with communication and brainstorming, explaining complex concepts in simple terms. But they are not conscious beings. They're not human-like reasoning engines. They're not domain experts in everything. And they're definitely not replacements for specialized tools and expertise. And yet we keep acting like this is a big surprise. I mean, have you seen what these systems can actually do? No, of course they're good at some things. They're really good at some things. That's why all the headlines say things like ChatGPT destroys chess engine or I beats Grandmaster at chess or Google's Israel, champion at game of Go. These systems are not defeating anyone at anything. These headlines are not accurate representations of what's happening when a large language model plays chess. What is actually happening is that someone set up a position for white and asked ChatGPT to play. Okay, fair enough. ChatGPT generated a move, and then the person evaluated the position and said, this is checkmate in 3. And sure, ChatGPT didn't find the optimal moves in this particular position, but that doesn't mean it failed. That means it didn't produce the desired output in this particular case, but it does something else really well. I mean, think about how many more resources, time and money have been devoted to making chess engines better than LLMs. For decades, the smartest minds in the world have been working on creating the best chess engine possible. Chess engines look at positions and calculate thousands and thousands of moves ahead. They explore every possible variation. Meanwhile, LLMs were designed to answer text-based questions with text-based answers. Yes, there is a lot of overlap between the skills that a really good chess engine has and what is required to make a great LLM. They both involve searching through vast amounts of data and finding patterns, but chess engines take things a step further. They evaluate positions and moves based on an explicit set of rules and criteria. They don't just spit out whatever seems most likely or makes sense in context. They actually calculate the value of each move and choose the best one. So yeah, if you pit a top chess engine against an LM, the chess engine will win every time. But that's like comparing apples and oranges. It's not even a fair fight. The people who are saying that LLMs have failed at chess either don't understand how LLMs work or they intentionally misrepresenting them to make themselves look smarter. It's really not that complicated, and it's certainly nothing to get upset about. If you're worried that AI is going to take over the world, that's a fair concern. If you're worried about job displacement, that's also a valid worry. But getting angry that an LLM can't beat a chess engine is not productive. It's not going to help us address the real issues around IB. It is just going to contribute to the growing divide between those who understand how it works and those who do untain. And I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone not understand how AI works? Well, honestly, I think a lot of people just assume that if they do and have time to learn the details, they still have a pretty good intuitive understanding of how these systems work. But that's often not the case. Most people don't understand how I works. They think it's magic. And if we want to have a productive conversation about AI and its impact on society, we need to start by addressing that gap in understanding. We need to teach people how AI works so they can use these tools effectively and advocate for their responsible development and deployment. We also need to make sure that the people building these systems understand the ethical implications of what they redoing and that they re-held accountable when things go wrong. So the next time you see a headline saying that A failed at something, ask yourself, was this really an appropriate benchmark to begin with? Was the system actually designed to do this thing well? Or were we just setting it up to fail? Because I think it's time we stop expecting our hammers to be screwdrivers. Thanks for watching, and thanks to my supporters for making these videos possible.